Sophie, till late in the third quarter, you guys were struggling offensively in that frame. Second half in general didn't feel the same as the first half on that end. Did something change for you guys? What you see is kind of leading to stalling on that end?
Yeah, I think we were just kind of slow. And every time that we're slow, especially defensively, it just somehow affects our offense.
Sophie Cunningham didn't hold back after this one. And honestly, who could blame her? The Fever just choked away a game they had in the bag, falling 88-84 to a Mystics squad sitting at the bottom of the standings. Indiana built a double-digit lead, even cruised into halftime with control, only to watch it vanish in a brutal 22-7 Washington run that flipped the script completely. With playoff seeding on the line, the collapse dropped the Fever to 7th place, and that's when Sophie lit into it post-game. Her words weren't just frustration, they hit harder when stacked against Stephanie White's usual excuses. So what do you think? Did the Fever lose because of execution, or is Stephanie White the one to blame? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Overhead is Cunningham with a steal. Cunningham feeds Sims, who goes coast to coast and lays it in. So
they had to make sure they had the right shot clock time as well while they're reviewing that.
So Indiana with a 10-point lead here. 6 minutes until halftime as Boston finds some space and knocks it down. Now Sims launches ahead for Mitchell. What a pass by Odyssey Sims.
Indiana looked like they were in full control, building a 13-point cushion midway through the second quarter at 40-27. But that dominance didn't last long. Almost immediately, Washington flipped the script with a blistering 22-7 run that erased the lead and stunned the crowd. Suddenly, the Mystics were the ones playing with swagger, hitting 52% from the floor, burying timely threes, and punishing every defensive lapse. Meanwhile, Indiana's offense completely froze. What should have been a commanding advantage quickly unraveled into a fragile one-possession battle.
Time for the Buckeyes.
Here is the Buckeye product on the backdoor pass, but Mitchell lost the handle. Sutton thought about the three, steps in, Hull got a piece. Dolson has been wide open all possession, splashes home a three, and we are level at 47.
That swing didn't come from some superstar takeover, it came from Indiana collapsing on itself. Turnovers stacked up, defensive breakdowns kept piling, and the Fever handed the Mystics chance after chance. 21 fouls turned into 26 free throw attempts for Washington, each one chipping away at the lead. Every lazy pass, every late rotation, every sloppy possession was punished. This wasn't about whistles or luck, it was about Indiana beating Indiana, and the scoreboard told the story loud and clear.
Sims with 5 off the bench. Indiana has 8 first-quarter bench points. That's typically been a strength when they're playing well, as Iriafen just bullies her way inside. Now Citron being guarded by Lexi Hull. Hull goes over the screen, defends her really well. Citron just has to fire it up, and a circus shot for Citron.
Adding salt to the wound, it wasn't even seasoned vets who buried Indiana, it was Washington's rookies. Sonia Citron played like she'd been in the league for years, calmly dropping 21 points, while Okiki Ajayan bullied her way to 18 points and 12 rebounds, snatching second-chance boards that flipped the game's momentum. These weren't hollow numbers, they were game-changing plays that exposed Indiana's loss of control. And the timing couldn't be worse. Sitting in 7th with playoff hopes riding on every possession, getting dismantled by a rookie duo isn't just a bad night, it's the kind of collapse that can define a season.
Why at the same time? Because I'm you and you're me. We switch parties. Zub's in the chat!
It's not like Indiana was completely flat, either. Aaliyah Boston held it down in the paint with 20 points and 9 boards, giving exactly the kind of steady presence that should close out a win. Kelsey Mitchell orchestrated the offense well early, Sophie Cunningham brought her trademark spark, and Lexi Hull hustled on the defensive end. The Fever's core showed fight, that part wasn't missing. What was missing was structure. Without clear direction to channel those individual efforts, the energy scattered instead of stacking, and that's why the game slipped away.
Hull gets it into Boston. Hand off Mitchell. Indiana has to hurry. Lob back for Boston. Boston finishes. It's a 2-point game, 5.9 seconds remaining.
The truth is clear. Indiana didn't fall because Washington was the superior team. They fell by wasting possessions, letting the Mystics control the pace, and failing to respond once momentum shifted. It's the same story that has haunted the Fever all year, strong stretches undone by avoidable breakdowns. Every time they show progress, careless errors and poor adjustments pull them back. And now, with the playoff race heating up, these late-game collapses carry an even heavier cost.
Cunningham looking, finds Mitchell, launches a corner three, it won't go, rebound Aiksler, and this young Washington Mystics group who continues to impress throughout this season, and Sidney Johnson in his first year comes up with a big win on the road.
Which brings us to the pressing question, why was there no plan in place to protect the lead once it began slipping, when everyone in the arena could feel the momentum shifting? Who was supposed to steady the team, make the right adjustments, or provide a reliable counterpunch? The answers all point in one direction, and it's the same place fans have focused their frustration.
Yeah, I think we over-dribbled at times. Our off-ball movement wasn't there. We did a lot of standing. It's almost like we gave the ball to Kelsey and just tried to watch her work. And that's not when we're at our best. I mean, yes, certainly we want to have the ball in our hands, but we've got to continue to get movement with and without the basketball. It was getting stuck. I mean, we want to play 0.5 to 1 second basketball, and we weren't. And it's got to get moving. And
Stephanie White's coaching choices are under heavy scrutiny after this loss, and nothing has drawn more criticism than Chloe Beebe's complete absence from the rotation. Beebe is shooting 42% from three this season, yet she played 0 minutes in a game where Indiana's spacing and outside shooting completely vanished. White later explained that she held Beebe out due to defensive matchup concerns, worries about rebounding and coverage against Washington's lineups. But when you look at how the game unfolded, Indiana giving up 26 free throws, surrendering wide-open threes, and watching Kiki dominate the paint, the reasoning falls flat. Fans see a proven floor spacer left on the bench while the very problems White cited still unfolded, and they're left asking why a clear solution went unused.
With Chloe Beebe tonight, were there thoughts maybe plugging her in to try and spark the offense a little bit, or what was the decision behind not playing her tonight?
yeah, there were some thoughts. I think that it matched up defensively more than anything with the way that we were going to try to play them, or in some of our switches and things like that. So that was mostly the reason.
And then just with the rotation, was it just those eight or seven that you ran with? Was it just they were flowing well and you wanted to just leave that going, or what was the thought there?
Yeah, I think some of it was defense. Being able to execute the type of defensive coverages that we wanted to have against this, the way that they play. It hurts. I mean, I think we had 8 turnovers for 13 points in the second half as well. So we didn't take care of it. And I think it was something like a 22-7 run, the end of the second, beginning of the third quarter. And those are hard to recover from when anytime really, but when you're missing pieces. And, we've got to make sure that we're sharper at times. We don't have the margin to have lulls within quarters. And then I believe they had something like 21 points from free throw line and turnovers of their 26 in the fourth. And, we control that, defending without fouling. We control that, taking care of the basketball, decision-making at times. And some of it's, playing some people out of position, and some of it's just not being, valuing the basketball in the way that we need to value it, being a little sloppy with it.
On their ball screen coverages right now.
Here's Mitchell on the handoff, bounce pass. Boston one bounce and a left-handed finish. Here's Boston, the offensive rebound, flips inside to Howard, who lays it in.
You go step up screen, flare on the weak side. They had to make sure they had the right shot clock time as well while they're reviewing that.
So Indiana with a 10-point lead here, 6 minutes until halftime as Boston finds some space and knocks it down. Indiana with their work cut out for them here. 6-point deficit, just over 5 minutes left to play. Mitchell, feed inside. There's an easy 2 for Boston. Cunningham leans in, thought she threw the foul. Boston pulls down the rebound and lays it in. Pulleys her way inside.
What a pass by Melvin, too. Really nice.
Mitchell turns on the Jets and gets to the rim.
No one. Tinky Kemper is one of the best rebounders out of her area, which means the ball not directly above her head is Cunningham with a steal.
Cunningham feeds Sims, who goes coast to coast and lays it in. So 4 quick ones for Indiana.
That's
I think the thing that we just have to continue to do that kind of got us on the run we had before the last couple games was we were aggressive at the opponent attack on defense, and that led to easy transition buckets. That led to everyone being aggressive and on their front foot on the offensive end. And, we have new players, and that's okay, but, we just have to adjust, and we need them. We've faced a lot of adversity. But we should be used to that by now. And I think they could just kind of outwork this a little bit, and that just can't be our excuse. You never really control the outside things. You can't control injuries, and so that's why you really do have to control your mental and control what you can control. And I think that we have a really good group. We're still a tight-knit group. We're adding new players in that are amazing. O's been around the league for a long time, and I know you don't think so, but it's a blessing that you were on another team because we need you here. And so I just think it's an adjustment period. The highs and lows, you just have to stay kind of steady, right? Every team faces it. I feel like we faced it more than most this year, but I think this is going to set us up for something good. I don't know if it's this season. I don't know if it's next season, but I think there's always something that you can be grateful for and learn during those hard times.
So, what was the message inside the locker room? What were you guys talking about there after the game?
Yeah, I just think that we've had some hard injuries this year. We've had some different lineups and roster spots. And, to be frank, I don't think anyone else around the league thinks that we can do it anymore. But I think that our group does. And I think that we just have to get that confidence back. When we're clicking offensively, defensively, we're scary. And not a lot of teams can beat us, even with the roster that we have right now. And so for us, it's just remembering who we are. It's our identity. We got to get back to being dogs, got to get back to being aggressive, being on our front foot, and not allowing teams like this to come in here and outwork us.
The past couple games where it feels like kind of that wear and tear's taking a toll?
Not really. And I think that she kind of hit it. You have to give yourself a little bit of grace. When you have so many different lineups, O and I have never played together. O hasn't played with a lot of people, maybe Tosh. But you have to know her style. She has to know our style. And so it's different, but that's part of being a pro. You got to adjust and you got to learn fast. And I think that's a really cool thing too, because when you click, you click. And so that's scary for people coming in here and trying to play us.
Sophie, till late in the third quarter, you guys were struggling offensively in that frame. Second half in general didn't feel the same as the first half on that end. Did something change for you guys? What did you see as kind of leading to stalling on that end?
Yeah, I think we were just kind of slow. And every time that we're slow, especially defensively, it just somehow affects our offense.